Well, hello and welcome to the Movie Paradise. I'm your host, Nathanael Molnár, and this is part of our wrapping up 2018 lists. Every year here on the Movie Paradise, we come together and we come up with a few lists that describe and wrap up the year that was. We usually do best films of the year, worst films of the year, most surprising, most disappointing, ranking the comic book films, and most anticipated films of the year to come. I'm joined by Rob Giachinta.
They tried to kick me off, but I'm not leaving.
He just never left the house. And so this is our most surprising films of 2018. So how this is going to work is we each have three, so I think you'll talk about one, I'll talk about one, we'll do that back and forth, and then we'll just talk about the three films that we were most surprised by this year. So Rob, why don't you take us off with your third most surprising film of 2018?
All right, here we go. This was a movie that when I saw the trailer, well, first of all, the movie is Instant Family.
And no spoilers, by the way. I forgot to mention, no spoilers.
No spoiler. But it was Instant Family. And when I saw the trailer for this, I don't know about yourself, but it kind of, it just had the feel of Daddy's Home. Because it was the same director, Mark Wahlberg was back, and the trailer just had a lot of, kind of poop jokes and
the best.
People getting hurt. And I was like, this is not going to be good. And it actually turned to be more of a drama than a comedy. And we ended up getting a really good movie, I think, with great performances from Mark Wahlberg, who had been on a losing streak with Mile 22, Transformers.
Oh, God.
Daddy's Home 2 was horrendous. But I think
that guy's in a lot of shit sometimes.
Yeah, but I think this was a really good performance by him, and this was a good project, I think. And Rose Byrne was great as his wife, and Octavia Spencer, and all sorts of guest surprises were really good. And it was a good movie about adoption and what it means to be adopted and the whole process of it. And I thought it did a good job of that. And it's a great movie to take the family to, I think.
Yeah, that's one that, when I saw the trailers too, and I just completely wrote it off. I didn't think anything of it, and then
so much so that you never saw it.
Yeah, well, then it got pretty decent reviews, and then you saw it and you said you really liked it. I never got around to seeing it. If it's on a streaming service at some point, I'll check it out. I'd say my third most surprising film of the year. I don't know if this is on your list or not, but Hellfest.
I just missed it. It would have if we did the honorable mentions. It would have been on there.
See, when I saw the trailers for this movie, it looked like the next, because we had just seen Slender Man.
I liked the trailer.
To me, it felt like it was going to be the next Slender Man. It was going to be the next shitty horror movie, with the terrible teenage actors and just capitalizing. And that's what I thought it was going to be. And then I went and saw the movie, and I was really surprised. Is it one of the best movies of the year? No. It's not even one of the best horror movies.
The acting in that movie was atrocious, though. I have to, for most of the people in it.
I would disagree.
Really?
I didn't think it was anything spectacular.
That girl that was the best friend that was really wild and crazy, she was her. I couldn't stand.
There were some iffy performances, but I'd say for the most part, I didn't have it. It never took me out of the movie.
I thought it was a fun ride, and I thought the kills were great.
Yeah. That was a movie that benefited from being R significantly.
Because if that was PG-13, I don't think that would have worked.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree.
Would have hated. That probably would have been the worst.
Yeah. So I was very surprised by it. It's not one of the best movies of the year, not one of the best horror movies of the year, but for what it was, I went in and I was not expecting anything really, and I really enjoyed it. So that's my number 3. Rob, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a movie that, when I saw the trailer, I was interested in, but it didn't get the greatest reviews. I think it's hovering around a 59, and I thought it might be more of an Oscar kind of movie and get award recognition, but it doesn't look like it's going to get that, and that's Vox Lux. I think this, in my personal opinion, I think this was the better of A Star Is Born with showing showing the rise of a pop star. I thought it was a lot more realistic and more grounded. And it was a very dark story, with leading performances from Natalie Portman and Raffi Cassidy. And I thought they were great, as Raffi Cassidy plays the younger version of Natalie Portman, and then she also plays the daughter of the older Natalie.
Oh, okay.
Which was, I have to admit, if I hadn't already known that, it might have been a little what the hell's going on here? But she was great in both roles, and honestly, I didn't want to see her off the screen once Natalie Portman grew up. So I was like, I'm kind of glad she's here because and they're they're way two different performances she has to play, and I thought she was really good in it. And overall, it was just I walked in thinking it was just going to be one of these pretentious art movies, and while it has layers of that, I think it actually, I think in the end it had a great story and it was well directed and it was just an overall enthralling movie, I thought.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's one I haven't had a chance to see either. Yeah. But with your rave recommendation, if it's available somewhere at some point, I'll definitely give that a watch. My second most surprising film of the year is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, wow.
So, this is one, I've said this before.
Wow.
When I saw when I heard about this movie and was coming out, I thought it was a complete waste. I was like, what, you're going to do an animated Spider-Man movie and you're going to get Phil Lord and Chris Miller to do it? They would be perfect to do live-action Spider-Man. Why the fuck are you even doing this? And then we saw the first trailer, and I was like, holy shit, this could be something really good. And then people started seeing it. People started talking about it as being one of the best of the year. Best comic book movie of the year, everything, yada, yada, yada. And here we are. Compared to where I thought this movie was going to be when I first heard about it, compared to how I feel about it having seen it, this completely surprised me. I was not expecting Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse to be a tenth of what it is. I think this is a really special movie, and I was blown away by it.
I was always excited for it, I have to admit, and I thought it wasn't one of my favorite movies of the year, but I thought it was a really good movie. I highly enjoyed it. I'll buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm assuming we both have the same number one.
Probably.
But one that I'm surprised you didn't put on your... I thought you might have had Love, Simon on there, because I know you loved it so much, and I didn't think you were that, pumped for it.
I think that would be, number 4.
Okay.
I mean, when I Love, Simon... I didn't think it was going to be bad.
Because it almost made mine. Because when I saw the trailer, I thought it was going to be bad. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was going to be that great. And it was a really great movie.
I definitely didn't think it was going to be as good as... When I saw the trailers, I didn't think it was going to be bad necessarily, but I didn't think it was going to be... I wouldn't have liked it as much as I did like it. So
hence you were surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'd say that was my number 4.
All right.
I think the degree of which how surprised I was by these films was more with these 3 films rather than Love, Simon. I think you're right. Our number 1 is the same, Summer of '84.
Oh, no, I had Venom. Nah,
you had me for a second. That's a different list, my friend. Yeah. Summer of '84.
Yep.
This, I think the reason why this is my number 1 most surprising.
I didn't know what the fuck this was about.
Exactly. I literally had 0 expectations. I don't think I hadn't even heard of it until you were like, hey, this movie's going to be playing. You want to go see it.
That was when I was scrolling on Instagram, and it was like Summer of it was like a sponsored thing. And it said Summer of '84 playing on all these dates, and then it's like Salem, Mass with a Q&A, and I was like, oh, this could be... I like going to this theater called Cinema Salem, so I was like, this could be cool. And if there's the guy who wrote the movie there, that could be cool. Yeah. And I didn't watch the trailer. I read the premise, and I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And I was on, this was one of the most suspenseful movies of the year.
I completely agree.
I was on the edge of my seat pretty much the whole time. And it ended in such an unexpected way, too. Yeah. It ended way darker than I thought it was going. I thought it was going to be, the cheery ending, and it wasn't. And I loved that about it.
And that's why it's my number 1 as well, because... I literally had 0 expectations. Like you just said, I knew nothing about this movie. All I knew, you were just like, hey, you want to go see it? And I was like, sure, what the fuck, why not? Sat down and then just blown away by a movie that's in my top 10 best films of the year. And to go from literally no expectations to absolutely loving this film, I was completely wowed by this movie.
Agreed.
And a little bit behind the scenes, we were this close to getting... the interviews.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. We were this close to interviewing the 2 writers of this movie. We had them up on Skype.
When they do their next movie, maybe we can get them.
We had them up on Skype. Everything except technical issues. We couldn't record it. We should have just done a podcast.
Agreed.
Might
be too late now. But.
No, it's too late at this point. But I think we were, because that was we had just created the channel and we were just starting to do videos. We're putting an emphasis on videos. I think we should have just done a podcast with them, which would have gone much easier. But The interview that never was. But that would have been a fun interview. We were going to have a good time with that. But anyways, so to recap my 3, my number 3 most surprising was Hellfest. My number 2 was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And my number 1 was Summer of '84.
And my number 3 was Instant Family. My number 2 was Vox Lux. And my number 1 was Summer of '84.
All right. Well, that's been our most surprising films of 2018. What do you think? What movies that came out in 2018 surprised you? Which ones just you weren't expecting to be as good as they were, and they just completely shocked you? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Well, once again, I'm your host, Nathanael Molnár. I'm joined by our co-host, Rob Giachinta. Thanks for being here.
Fucking leaving.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more content, and be sure to follow us on all of our various social medias at Movie Paradise 99. Thanks, everyone.